Good morning and welcome to Joe's Astrology. Today is Tuesday, March 26th, and I said I was going to talk about the moon in Libra, and that's what I want to focus on here. Moon in Libra. I'll tell a couple stories. Start off with a couple stories with Moon in Libra. So this one person I know, she was a Capricorn Sun and Libra Moon, and I met her on the internet to play tennis. And it was in a big city. I'm not going to mention what city it was. But she shows up. Okay, she shows up, and I was super excited because she played for Harvard, and she was a really good player. And she shows up, and she doesn't know anything about me, and she's talking down to me, like being very condescending, as if like I'm not a good player or I'm just another guy. I think she wanted to try and get lessons or something like that. And this could be the Capricorn in her a little bit too, but I want to specifically focus on the Moon in Libra. And what I'm getting at here is the idea that Moon in Libra can be like a chameleon. They can shift to like one personality to another. They can be very wily in this kind of game that I'm describing. And so we start hitting, and she continues on, etc. And she still is acting the way she's acting. And then in the end, I tell her who I am, where I've been, regarding, that I'm a tennis coach, etc. And she completely changed. And we played it. We ended up playing again. So the second time that I met with her, she was a completely different person. She was the sweetest person you ever meet. She was very feminine, very receptive, uh, very negative as far as like receiving me and being like a normal person in general. And that is what the Moon in Libra. That's a good example of what Moon in Libra can do. It can be. It is a masculine sign. It is in a masculine sign. It's a very feminine planet. It can be very masculine, outgoing, forthright as well, and it can also be very feminine and sweet and nice. So that's one of my Moon in Libra stories. I do think that anything in Libra is going to have lessons around relationships in life. But this was a Sun in Libra, but in typical Libra fashion, I remember one person asked me some opinions about astrology, and I told him that tidbit about relationships, and she just right away denied it. And then later, getting to know her, I mean, there's major lessons around relationships. And that again, that idea, like Libra will come out and they'll just say they'll say something that's just to get along and like just to get through the conversation, not to really get too deep into it. We just had the full moon in Libra, so certainly there are many people that are experiencing this. I think that with the moon in Libra, I don't think this is something like, I don't mean to speak down to anyone who has moon in Libra. It's just the way it is. I try to, try to laugh about it. I know many people, even many people with Libra, that's just the way, the things that I notice about them, that's the way they are. It doesn't change. And it's, because I don't think it necessarily needs to change. It's just it's just the way life is. None of it's necessarily like with the situation with the story with the tennis player from Harvard. I mean, I didn't take offense to it. It's all in good fun. And things are lightening up. I think with that, Venus is moving away from Saturn. Some more about the astrology for today. Um, Sorry if I'm a little slow. I literally did just wake up. I often do these. Often I do these when I've just woken up because this is my plan. I want to uh, do the daily forecast specifically in the morning when I first wake up, so they don't always look very clean or the video isn't very good or I'm not speaking very clear. Mars is going to move up to a conjunction with Saturn, and I think what we might see with some of the seriousness of Venus with Saturn that we're getting a little bit of a break from. It's going to start building up again, and that Mars Saturn will come into effect. I mean, depending on what your chart looks like. I know some people, if you have Saturn anywhere near 12 degrees, or if you have anything near 12 degrees, you're gonna feel this building up, specifically in water signs or fire signs, or I'm sorry, mutable signs or water signs. One more thing about Moon in Libra, and I'll leave it at that. Moon in Libra is a flirtatious energy, and these people like to flirt. And depending on what else you have in your chart, you may find yourself enjoying this socialization, this flirting energy, and then get into something that you don't all of a sudden don't like, and you'll back away. Specifically, if you have aggressive or an aggressive Mars or an affliction to Mars in the chart with Moon or anything else, or even Saturn, you may find yourself in a cycle of being flirtatious, but then not not liking the results. And the thing with Moon in Libra, or people that have this, that are the similar to the way I'm describing this, they have to remember that they have to remember the perception of other people when they're flirting, when they're being very social and flirty. Not everyone's into astrology. They're not thinking, oh, it's just a Libra. It's a Libra energy. They just like to flirt, but they're not. No, they're usually thinking like, oh, this person likes me. And I've experienced the Moon in Libra energy even without a Moon in person that might not have the Moon in Libra, but they might have some social energy, or they might have that flirtatious Venus energy. And they often will give that impression that that they like a person more than they do, and then when the other person comes in and tries to get more serious, or maybe asks them out on a date, etc., they may even take offense to that. And I think that's the real negative expression. The neutral expression or the positive expression with these people, with you see people with this with a lot of Libra energy, is especially with Leo as well. You'll see them; they're all over the internet too. Like they love the attention. They really thrive off of it. They don't have. They might maybe even be someone who has a lot of more masculine energy in their chart. They'll continue to dive into that energy, rather they won't really step back and complain about it. They just keep going into it, and they're comfortable with it. They love it. So I think there's a two two sides to that negative expression, that positive expression, where the negative expression is that fear, um, the uncomfortability of being in that situation and yet still enjoying being in that situation. And the negative expression, I'm not trying to judge anyone. I think it's gonna happen regardless with many people. It's just it would be more of a constant struggle to have that understanding that that they have to live with this conflict. More likely than not, for the rest of their life, they have to live with it. Where the positive expression, like I said, they might have some other things in the chart that they thrive off of it, they enjoy it. So it's a little bit of a dilemma. It can be a little bit of a dilemma for the moon in Libra. And moving closely to that Venus-Neptune, I'll be talking about that soon, and the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction coming up. And I think I'll leave it at that, and I hope you have a great day.